sun. Feel the fire as I come undone. I breathe in and it fills my lungs. Let it burn in the vacant sun.
Alright guys, welcome back to the GSL Super Tournament. I am Wolf, and joined with me is a great and positive attitude about continuing to cast the remaining 2 games we have today. And the first, we're going to have Byun versus Alicia. That is going to be a pretty close series, but Alicia has shown us some awesome games here recently. He's a very creative Protoss. He took out MC to get here, by the way. No easy task by any means. I mean, MC is one of the better players in the world. Did quite well at MLG. I won't say how well, because I know a lot of you guys probably want to watch those VODs. Don't spoil anything. But Alicia, man, he's scary. He's pretty scary. And Byun sometimes looks a little bit less than scary, but he has been improving. Like Clyde, I felt like in the beginning, Byun didn't do that well. He just kind of slowly improved, and he's still improving. I mean, he's here in the round of 32, so he's made it pretty far in this tournament so far because, well, he took out, I'm trying to remember who he took out exactly, but hold that thought because we're going to take a look at the players already. I'll find out exactly who he took out. Now, here's Zenex Byun, formerly known as Bleach. Actually, one of the most successful race switchers in all of StarCraft 2 history. Switched from Protoss to Terran. See, back in January, he was the Code A runner-up, and since then he's pushed his way into Code S. Now, he hasn't actually had that many good results in Code S. First season he was in Code S, he only made it to the round 16. Then last season, he actually lost in the round of 32, but remained in the up and down matches in Code S. Oh, he took out Legal Mind. That's what he took out, yeah. So that wasn't, very impressive win by any means. And Legal Mind, actually, a player who some people consider to be really bad, myself included. I mean, I don't think he's really bad, but he's just not a top player. And the only reason he's here is because he has so many results from the earlier GSLs. So to have Legal Mind take a game off of Byun shows that Byun, versus Protoss recently hasn't been doing as well. And that's not how you want to feel when you're going up against Alicia, because Alicia is pretty scary. Silly name, Scary Protoss. That's how I feel about Alicia. Of course, he's on the Slayers team, which is a pretty awesome team. And Byun, he is focused right now. He's just staring at that screen. He has no emotion on his face. All right, now, here's Alicia. See him there. Now, he is ranked 39th in the GSL, which is pretty high considering that he hasn't been here all that much. Currently a Code S player. Did make it to the round of 16 in Code S last season. And, his first run through Code A, he just kind of crushed through, made it to the Code A semifinals. No big deal. I think Lucira took him out, if I remember correctly. Now, he 2-0'd MC to get here. That's a PvP matchup, of course. It doesn't say much about his recent versus Terran matches. But there's a shot of him now. He always looks kind of, I don't want to say he looks nervous, but he looks like he's taking it really seriously. He's kind of stressed. He's got that good kind of stress where you're just like, I'm really stressed out about this, but because you're stressed about it, you do well. I feel like that's what's going through Alicia's mind right now. So we're going to get a few more results of these 2 players. Now, Byun versus Protoss, he's got 3 wins and 1 loss recently. That's a 75% win rate. And overall, he actually has a 76.47 win rate versus Protoss, all of his games included. And Protoss is actually his best matchup statistically, so he's, it's one thing he's got going for him. He's on the team ZX, by the way, which is a pretty awesome up-and-coming tean. They haven't had a lot of success recently, but if you guys have noticed, a lot of their players are starting to do better and better here recently. Didn't really get to talk that much about Alicia, but I could just say Slayer's Alicia, and you guys are probably like, enough said. I've looked up so much about this guy, and you're like, I know all about him. I know all his tricks. He's on Slayers. I love Slayers players, because I know there's a lot of foreign fans out there who really love the Slayers team. They've been doing quite well in this tournament. Now, here are our maps. Set 1 will be on Crevasse, Set 2 will be on Zelnaga Fortress, and Set 3 will be on Crossfire. Now, again, I think that Crossfire is a really hard map for Protosses, although statistically speaking, it is balanced. I watch a lot of games on Crossfire where I go, I don't actually know what the Protoss could have done about this very well-executed timing attack. So the first 2 matches are really important for Alicia. Now, both players actually eliminating Belcher Beach, which I think, again, is possibly due to it being a new map, but the countdown has started. The game is loading. Who's going to take game 1? Will it be Byun or will it be Alicia? Let's find out. The map is Crevasse.
Stand up! Strike back! Here it comes!
Zenex Byun versus Slayers Alicia.
Love those intros so much. All right, up here at the top left, we have a player on the team, Zenex. That's a clan of Nex and Zenith combined to make a team. He is... You're about to find out that he is...
Zenex Byun.
There's a shot of him now. Ooh. That's, I don't know what to say about that sign, actually. All right, now here's a shot of our Protoss player. The player on the team Slayers has shown a lot of awesome play here recently. Strong Protoss he is.
Slayers Alicia.
Got a lot of fans in the audience. There's a shot of him. I like to call these newer players... Oh, another sign there. She's hiding. We see you, though. You can look down all you want, but we see you. Alright, so looks like Alicia gonna go for a Nexus first right off the bat, which is pretty safe on this map. Because you have that backdoor expansion. You don't have to wall off or really defend necessarily. Especially given that there's a high probability that your opponent's gonna go for a fast expand as well. Now, speaking of probability he's gonna go for a fast expand, well that probability has gone up to 100% now. Because Byun is not taking any gases, he's starting to pull up some minerals a little bit. We should get his gateway, getting his gases up. So Zenex, by the way, is a clan that I played a lot with when I first got my Korean account. There's a lot of really nice guys in the Nex clan, and that's what I really played with. Now, I don't know if you guys know about Zenith, which is another clan, like Kirix was in that clan, for example. Bonbons was in Zenith. I think he's recently switched teams, but he was in that clan. And then those two clans, just to give you guys kind of a perspective about how clans and teams work sort of in Korea, you have clans that want to become teams, but they have a lot of good players on them. They bring good players into the clans. Then those clans try to qualify for these tournaments, and then suddenly they win a lot, sponsors get interested, and then they become a team. Now, with the case with ZenX, the sponsors were kind of interested in a lot of players from Zenith and Nex, and a lot of the players have practiced together, so they said, hey, why don't we just combine you two, combine these two clans and form the team ZenX. So that's kind of how that worked out. For those of you guys who didn't know, now you know. Because knowledge is power. That's what they say on Schoolhouse Rock anyways. They need to do like a Schoolhouse Rock on StarCraft. That'd be so awesome. There's like all these little videos with that. I don't even know the guy who does all the voices what his name is. But can you just imagine him singing about supply depots or singing about like 2 racks pressure? Singing about the Nexus first? Just imagine like lolly, 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 get your adverbs here, except with with like a Nexus first in there somehow. I know some of you guys watch Schoolhouse Rock, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so Byun, I'm just laughing because the SCV was like trying to get in there and the Zealot came at him, and it's funny because SCVs can't beat Zealots at all, and they're not, you know, the Zealot's much stronger, but because the SCV is much faster and can maneuver around Zealots, it just looked a little bit silly when the Zealot was like, you cannot pass, and the SCV was like, actually, yes I can, and the Zealot was like, well, yeah, I guess you kind of can. There's nothing I can do about it. But the Stalker can do something about it, does take out that SCV, and those minerals in his hand will never be used. Byun has made a bunker at the top of his ramp, trying to play it safe. Looking at his vision right now, I want to see exactly what he's seen. He actually has seen the Nexus first, but making the bunker at the top of the ramp is relatively safe. Why? Well, he is going for a fast expand himself, and Marines are not very good against Stalkers. Now, if your opponent goes for a Nexus first and adds a ton of gateways, and then gets aggressive, and you don't have that bunker, especially if those rocks go down, Stalkers are just so good against Marines. You don't have any Mirages really out, you don't have Stim. Once those rocks go down, it's a huge wide open ramp. The Stalkers can just come in there and do so much, put a hurting on you. That's what they'll do. They'll put a hurting on you. In the words of many of the people in the South from where I come from in Atlanta. People say that a lot. I know some Atlantans out there going like, I don't talk like that. Some of my friends do. I don't talk like that either. A lot of people, the first thing actually when I met Artosis face to face, the first thing he said to me was, where are you from? And I said Atlanta. He said, but you don't have an accent. It's true, I don't really. A fact I'm very happy about. Now these rocks are about to fall. Byun is freaking out a little bit. He's making a second bunker, as he should, because you've gone up to 6 gates right now back at Alicia's base. That's something to freak out about. I gotta say, when your opponent broke down the rocks, you don't have any Mirages out, you got just 1 Marauder. Okay, I take it back, there's 2. Your Stim's not done. You gotta have 2 bunkers, or you're not holding that 6-gate attack. In fact, I'm gonna look at these gates again. He actually made 7 gateways. And this is pretty all in, guys. If Byun holds this, he's going to be in such a good spot. He's already teched up. His stim is going to be done. Look at this. He's even pulling SCVs. Whereas Alicia is not really teched up at all. SCV is trying to see what's coming. And I think when he saw no real units, Byun might be thinking, okay, maybe you're not going to attack me, but I have to play it safe and pull my SCVs anyways. All right, now here comes more reinforcing units. Alicia actually warping in a ton of sentries to try to force field off those bunkers so this attack does more damage. Almost losing a stalker there. Was worth it to see how many bunkers there were, though, I think. I was going to use mostly Zealots and Sentries. He's going to force field behind the bunkers so the SCVs can't easily repair it, and the Zealots are just going to do a ton of damage to those bunkers. And once the bunkers fall, if the force fields are still there, the Zealots will take out those infantry units. The infantry will have nowhere to run. But I think he may have missed his timing here because those bunkers are up. There's 3 bunkers up. He's adding supply depots here. More Marauders are coming out. The dropships are going to start coming out here. Stim, Stim's done. You get the dropships out. Things get pretty bad for Protoss if they're not teching. They're just trying to stick with those gateway units. And here we go. Guardian Shield's up. Is he going to force field behind the bunkers? The SCVs have left, actually. He may actually want to force field. Ooh, well, that was kind of a weird force field. I was going to say he may want to force field behind the Marauders themselves. He's breaking through, though. The Zealots can't really do anything, though, and this is why I'd say that force fields are a double-edged sword. Now all the bunkers have fallen. Now when those force fields fall, he's going to be able to clean up a lot of these SCVs, but I don't know if this is going to be enough. It may be, though. A lot of the forces of Byun have fallen, and more reinforcements are about to warp in for Alicia. I think he's done it. He's not controlling his Zealots properly, though, and the medevacs are out. Trying to chase down those units. He wants to force field them so they can't retreat anymore, so the Zealots can get the maximum amount of damage off. Want to use those force fields properly, though, and here come more and more Zealots streaming in. The sentries is not controlling them. They're attacking the reactor. He wants those to be attacking his opponent's units. And look at that pylon warping in units more on the high ground. And Byun, whew, that was a close call for Alicia, but he does break through, man. Byun, if he had left his SCVs there, I think he would have been fine. And I like that timing by Alicia. He just kind of waited a little bit. Some fans in the crowd beating their little blow-up things together. Screaming, there's chanting going on. Byun lost the legal mind actually on Tal'Darim Altar in a very similar fashion, except it was with a 4-gate, where he just barely, it was like, oh, I'm gonna hold this, and he just barely didn't. So Byun's gonna be feeling a little bit frustrated. Move over, MC. Alicia is the real deal. That's what that guy says. I like that sign. It's always good to see fans praising Alicia. And MC's a really confident guy, so it's cool to see people challenging him like that, making fan signs like, MC, Alicia's the real deal. All right, there's Alicia now. Now, there's a lot of these players like Alicia who have come up in the last few months. Like, all the players that have kind of popped up since the Team League and done well, they're almost like the new knights of StarCraft 2 in the GSL. And Byun is kind of one of those old classic style players who's been here for a long time. And it's got to be really mentally draining where you've been here for a while, you've got a lot of experience in the GSL, and some upstart guy. I mean, Alicia's not that upstart anymore, but it feels bad because you grow to feel really comfortable and confident, and then next thing you know, you've got this new player. Alicia's like, this guy hasn't even been playing as long as I have. He hasn't been playing the GSL as long as I have, and he comes up and he's beating me. I'm losing to these younger, newer guys. Got to be a little bit taxing on your mental stability, really. So the next map is going to be Xel'Naga Fortress. The countdown has started. I see it here on my screen. Players saying good luck to each other. Now, who's going to take game 2? Will Byun tie it up, or will Alicia close out the series with a 2-0? Let's find out.